Thank you for choosing Fanopy Growth. I'm your host, Jacob, and we're going to be covering Canopy again here today. So if you are new to the channel, this is a fan club for Canopy Growth Corporation, ticker symbol CGC on the New York Stock Exchange. Actually on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. We were on the New York Stock Exchange. So we are publicly traded on American Exchange here. So you guys can purchase that on Robinhood or any of the other brokerage that you might use. So today we're going to be looking at Canopy and seeing where we kind of stand in this whole scheme of things. So let's make sure that we are recording here, by the way. Alright, recording there. Great. So we're going to take a look at some things here. So one thing that we would like to cover is from the last time we spoke. So Canopy Growth, they are a cannabis company. If you are new to this space, so I'll try to explain it quickly here to get you up to speed. So cannabis company here, Canopy Growth, based out of Canada, and they are operating fully in the THC and CBD market, I believe, in Canada. So they have a business there. So they became legal 2018 completely, I think, if my math is right. Um, and they've been kind of, there was a lot of hype when they first went legal. Um, Companies raced to have the biggest footprint, biggest capacity. That turned out to be too much to start. There was not as much demand, and the infrastructure wasn't ready to handle everything. So there was a lot of money lost in that process of creating large scale to try to race to arms, so to speak. So now Canopy, they do have operations in the U.S. through the CBD market with Martha Stewart and some other things they have going on with the CBD side. They can't really get into the THC side of the U.S. market yet because of their listing on the public exchange in the U.S. on the Nasdaq. They can't list because the marijuana or cannabis is a federally it's illegal federally, so they can't allow them to list on the stock exchange if they are selling THC in the U.S. So in order for them to list, so you guys can buy them, CGC, they have to be on, they have to abide by the rules, so to speak. So fast forward to right now, they're in the U.S. They have investments in a couple companies, Terrascend. They have a direct investment into them, and then Acreage. We have a so Terrascend is a MSO here in the U.S. They're not listed on the American exchange. You can actually find them on like TD Ameritrade or other exchanges that offer because they're based in Canada. They're actually based in Canada, but they do operate here in the THC market, but they're not listed on American exchange, so they can still operate. So we'll touch more on that later, but this was an interesting thing that about Canopy. They announced a $750 million term loan financing. So this is partnered with, advised by King Street Capital Management. So a $750 million secured senior secured term loan. The company has also the ability to obtain up to an additional $500 million of incremental senior secured debt pursuant to the credit agreement. So Mike Lee, the executive vice president and CFO, said, "We are delighted to welcome King Street as our anchor debt investor and look forward to building value for both our credit and equity investors over time. The transaction further strengthens Canopy's balance sheet, provides additional capital to invest in high return growth opportunities, and marks a key milestone for us as we work towards achieving a more efficient capital structure." So we have been impressed by the growth, of Canopy as a leader in the Canadian market and look forward to providing this strategic capital as Canopy further expands its business, said the Noah Charney, of managing director at King Street. So the term loan facility, it has no amortization payments and matures on March 18th of 2026. The gross proceeds, net of fees and expenses will be used by Canopy Growth for working capital and general corporate purposes, including without limitation growth investments, acquisitions, capital expenditures, and strategic initiatives. The term loan the term loan facility has a coupon LIBOR LIBOR plus 8.5% and is subject to a LIBOR floor of 1%, giving effect to the net proceeds from the term loan facility. The company's estimated pro forma cash equivalents, and short-term investments position as at December 31st, 2020 would have been approximately 2.5 billion Canadian dollars. So this was an interesting piece here. So this is gonna help Canopy to strengthen their balance sheet further as they plan this next endeavor in the U.S. So we're definitely interested in that. This was another interesting piece that I seen here. Let's make sure that we are still recording there. Let's see. Good to go. Good to go. All right. Is Canopy Growth priming the pump for some major M&A activity? So this is what I'm wondering as well. So they talk about how they got the $750 million secured loan in place. Um, One perspective that I heard about this loan was that maybe one reason why Canopy is doing it is because it's possible that rates can go up in the future, and they want to secure this money right now so that they can have it ready to go for any reason they might need it in the U.S. Because their Canadian business is pretty set, I think. But so another 500 million if needed, or however they want to do that, if they're going to use that or not. But it strengthens the balance sheet. So let's see what else they got to say about it here. Um, okay, so they're basically just saying that they think this is really going to strengthen Canopy to be able to do this. And one of the reasons we are favorable on the structure of the financing is related to the credit facility having no amortization payments. The credit facility matures on the first calendar. Yeah, so they're basically trying to get that money ready. And this was interesting too. Um, Canopy stated that it plans to use credit facility for working capital, generate, all these. You can expect a solid portion of these proceeds to be earmarked for certain international cannabis markets, from the European Union to North America. Canopy is executing on a multinational expansion, and we are favorable on the markets the business is capitalizing on. We would not be surprised if Canopy Growth utilized some of the proceeds to execute on a strategy that would position it as a potential beneficiary of the Mexican cannabis market. So Mexico is working towards them becoming legal. So that's an interesting developing situation as well. So with Canopy already doing, or Constellation rather, doing a lot of business in Mexico already, it's interesting to see how that's going to play out. So, so we're interested in that. All right, this was another. So we talked about Terrascend a little bit. They're a company that we're invested in. They're based out of Canada, but they actually operate in the U.S. and Canada and in Europe as well. They're one of the, if not the only, one of the only companies that is doing that. All different being able to list those three areas. So this was interesting that they decided that Jason Wild would lead Terrascend as the executive chairman. So Jason Ackerman was stepping down as the CEO. So he was the CEO that they appointed. He was actually had a background in, like, I believe he had online grocery type of delivery system or ordering system. So he was brought on to be the CEO, and now it looks like they're going in another direction. So I listened to the earnings call from Terrascend, and Terrascend. So Jason Wild basically mentioned that it was kind of due to the managing strategy and also the culture that they were trying to bring about. They weren't sure if it was the right fit for Jason Ackerman. So we do appreciate his service that he contributed, but they're going in another direction. So they say that Jason Wild is taking the helm for now, at least. So I'd like to thank him for his contributions as CEO and board member during his time with Terrascend. Yeah, and Unfortunately, there were differences in philosophy over management style and culture, and the board decided that it is best interest for the company to part ways. Wish them all the best. So yeah, so Terrascend is very interesting. They have so New Jersey, they're already in the medical part, but New Jersey just did this rec bill, so we're gonna have the biggest capacity, I believe, in New Jersey. So let's keep an eye on these guys, Terrascend. You can invest in them on the Canadian Stock Exchange, since Securities Exchange, since they are operating in the THC market in the U.S. They can't list here in the U.S., so you can buy them on TD Ameritrade though. So we'll see what's going to happen with all this stuff, guys. So Terrascend results. Terrascend did pretty good. They're increasing their net sales 134% year over year. So for the year increase, and we also raised the guidance, which was really nice. Um, so they increased the EBITDA, and they're working towards profitability. They're a really smart company how they're running everything. Obviously, they're profitable and they're doing what they need to do to do good. So in quarter four, we drove strong revenue growth, margin expansion, and cash generation by focusing on operational excellence, disciplined cost control, and effective allocation of capital, said Jason Wild, executive chairman of Terrascend. Hey, Jason, if you're listening, man, I definitely want to get in touch with you because I am very interested in Terrascend and I am a shareholder as well. And yeah, we'd definitely like to see what we can help out there. So I'm pleased to see how our team has executed in the quarter. So Mr. Wild added, looking at our growth plans for 2021, we are well positioned to continue our momentum. The business is firing in all cylinders, and we are now only just beginning to realize the benefits of our recently completed investments. So sales from facility expansion in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and California are just starting to come to market. So California has been locked down. They're going to be opening up. Kids coming back to college at Berkeley. Let's get that money up. Good to look on the horizon. So we did raise the guidance. So and Maryland, our acquisition in Maryland is expected to close imminently, and two additional retail stores are set to open in New Jersey. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. So good luck to everybody in this market. It might be a rough time right now. It's red. But this is right now. Are you trading for right now, or are you trading for your future? So, well, we're doing both. Obviously, but you know, Terrascend is raising a full year of 2021 guidance to exceed the high end of previously communicated ranges. Additionally, the company is converting guidance into U.S. dollars due to the anticipated change to USD reporting currency from CAD in the first quarter of 2021. The company expects full year 2021 net sales to exceed 290 million and adjusted EBITDA to exceed 122 million. So let's, keep working steady, guys, to do this. You know, so we're not going to go into every single little detail. And Acreage, those guys are in the wing too. Peter Caldini is trying to turn those guys around. They, reported fourth quarter revenue, full year revenue increased 50% and 55% respectively compared to the same periods in 2019. They got a lot of cleaning up. They're getting everything in order for Canopy to acquire. So let's hope and pray on that and keep everything looking right. Canopy Growth, we're going to take a look at those guys. We're not having that great of a day today. Take a step back. 5-day chart, you know, not the greatest. Month chart, not the greatest. 6-month chart, you can see a little bit. Year chart, year to date, we're basically where we started as far as I'm concerned. A year, but we're not though because we have money, we have things going on right now. The year chart, the 5-year chart, and the max. So, congratulations to everyone that has been able to stay afloat, stay on board, and we'll see you guys when we hit $100 per share, and we're all gonna be happy. So, thank you guys very much, and thanks everyone for checking us out here at Fanopy Growth. It's an amazing time right now to be alive, and hope you're all in good health, and hope you're all in good spirits. So take care, and thank you for choosing AT&T, or I mean Fanopy Growth.